Can you believe Jen and Ben are official?
Jen and Ben official.
They're Jennifer
and Benifer.
Benifer?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what their ship name was, but
yeah, I think it was Benifer.
Benifer?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it couldn't be Jennifer because her fucking name's Jennifer.
It's just
Benifer. It's Benifer.
It's Jen. It's
just
Jennifer
Jen.
and Ben.
Jben.
Jen.
Jben.
Jeben.
Jben.
Jeben.
Jben. Good for them.
Yeah.
Kind of lets you know.
He still looks miserable, but that's okay.
I've never seen a man grab an ass that thick.
A legendary ass.
So miserable.
We're saying
while
ass. We shouldn't say ass.
Oh, we already
bleep
did.
it out.
All right.
We're on good boy hours.
Remind me. I need to put notes.
Bleep the butts.
Bleep the butts.
Bleep the butts. We're trying to get views and not get demonetized, people. So excuse us while we don't curse.
That's right.
In the first 8-ish minutes or so.
Uh-huh.
Is that what it is? 7, 8 minutes?
We'll just go 10.
I'd say we'll be safe with 10 and see if we can make
just
it with 10. Safe. Yeah.
318. The butts.
The butts.
The butts.
The butts. Who are we, Margo?
We are Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
That's right.
And Marco Dupa.
Mm-hmm.
And we are proud to be back with you guys once again, as we are every week.
Kind of.
Almost every week.
Sometimes. Yeah.
With a new episode of what we like to call the One Beer In podcast.
Mm.
And I think that the only way to really get into this show, besides talking about Ben Affleck, and J-Lo, Ben Affleck, is to talk about this beer. So,
sure.
Adam, please tell the people what we're drinking tonight.
I'm so glad you asked. We are drinking the Copper Kettle Brewing Co. out of Denver, Colorado. It's the Dark Samba Imperial Milk Stout. I have taken some lactate.
It's taking the lactate.
It's aged with Brazilian Amburana wood in bourbon barrels. It is an 8% tall boy. We have no cold read, unfortunately.
Shout out to CJ from Red Light. He told me to grab this because I said I'm a fan of stouts, and he was like, well, you definitely need to do the Dark Samba from Copper Kettle. And Copper Kettle has a really good milk stout. So I'm excited about this. So without further ado, this is episode 318 of the One Beer In podcast. This is late.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. takes me to a place where I fit in.
Yep.
Oops. Now you have too much. All right. Thank you guys for joining us once again. This is the One Baron Podcast, the podcast where two brews crack open a brew and see where that one brew takes us. As I said, I'm Marco Dupa. That's Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
What's up, Brewskis?
Like, share, and subscribe everywhere the podcasts are sold or listened to, watched, devoured, consumed, drank, ate, all that jazz. And welcome. So we got a lot to discuss on the show. There are so many things that happened in just a short time that's kind of hard to keep up with, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
I found myself looking at the trending topics on Twitter and just going, I don't even know where to begin with this. Like, if you were one of those social media accounts that had to just be on the cutting edge.
Yeah, like an aggregator.
Yeah.
I
don't know how Moon Pie does it. Let's just say that. I don't know how the God account does it.
Yeah.
I don't know how they have to just literally sit and just refresh.
I thought Moon Pie was like a streamer I didn't know about for a second, and I realized you meant like the actual Moon Pies.
Moon Pies, yeah.
Yeah.
They have to just sit there and refresh the trending topics page over and over and over again and just keep up with all of it because, I mean, it moves so quickly.
Yeah.
By the time I'm caught up on one thing, everyone's talking about the next thing.
Yep.
And it's kind of sad.
It's because you're old.
I am old. I'm washed, but I still drink beer. Let's enjoy.
You're here.
Prost.
Oh, Michelle.
That is an intense flavor.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that kicked me in the back of the neck.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What is that?
In Brazilian Amburana wood.
Amburano? What?
Amburana?
Amburana.
Amburana? I wonder how you say that.
I'm anglicizing it. Amburana.
Amburana. Amburana wood.
Amburana.
Amburana wood.
Oh, interesting.
Let me get comfortable.
Move your cord over this side.
All right. So yeah, as I look at the trending topics, I see a lot of things that come to mind. Number one, Bob Odenkirk. I saw that he's gonna be okay. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I've been worried all day. I've been literally throughout my workday going onto Twitter to check up, and the fact that we haven't had any updates was really worrying me.
It was very troublesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's his son or his nephew. Somebody named
another Odenkirk,
Nate
right?
Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Said that he's gonna be okay. So if you're a fan of Bob Odenkirk, and if you're not, what are you doing? He's gonna be okay.
Oh, he's his son. He's Bob Odenkirk's son, Nate Odenkirk, also an actor apparently.
So Bob Odenkirk was filming season 5 or 6 of Better Call Saul.
Yeah, the final season.
The final season,
which a great show. I haven't caught up with it yet, but from what I've seen, I mean, it's up there with Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, and I mean, from the seasons that you've watched, that's what you've said.
Yeah, incredible show.
I definitely want to jump back in. I don't know. I just haven't. I've just been watching too much Star Wars Rebels.
That's fine.
What are you gonna do? Sue me.
That'll do as well. Pig.
So he was he was filming that show and apparently just collapsed, and we don't have any information as of this recording as to what he collapsed of.
Yeah,
but he's gonna be okay. So that's all that matters,
right?
Because we're not his family, so the rest of that shit is not
sure.
really our business.
Yeah, we don't need details as long as he's gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's all we care about.
Yeah, but of course, the press is dogging them for more information. I'm
sure. Of course, that's what they do. That is what they do. Yeah. So yeah, there was that, and there was a lot of stuff from Rolling Loud, music.
There was some loud stuff coming out of Rolling Loud.
Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
A lot of loud stuff coming out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, some of that stuff you just couldn't help yourself. Even if you wanted to stay away from it, you couldn't.
No.
It was all over the place.
Yeah.
First things first, I'd like to just touch on the subject of Coi Leray for a second.
Oh no.
I don't have anything negative to say about her.
Okay.
I really don't.
Okay.
Because I truly don't know enough about her to have an opinion one way or the other.
Yeah.
Her career thus far is just fascinating to me.
The first time I had seen her and really even known about her was on the XXL.
Yeah, she was on the she's one of the freshmen.
Yeah, so that was my first exposure to her, and I was like, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
But I saw from that point people talking shit.
Yeah.
And like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And that continued on through the Rolling Loud performance.
It just hasn't stopped, man.
Yeah.
She's endured nothing but slander.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna defend or try to back up any of that slander. I don't know because I haven't listened to any of her music. Truly, apparently she doesn't even have an album out. She doesn't have a mixtape or any kind of street album. It's just a bunch of singles that have come out, and that's enough.
Is it like a TikTok thing?
This is the reason I brought it up, because I don't know, and I'm just fascinated with her career trajectory so far. So apparently,
we probably sound so old.
Oh, dude, we are washed.
Oh,
washed.
Woof. Sorry, teens.
She is the son of Benzino. So if you want to sound really washed, we know who Benzino is. And so she, or did I say son? She's the daughter. Sorry, I apologize. She's the daughter of Benzino.
Did you say son?
I did say son.
Oh,
I know
man.
I said son. She's the daughter of Benzino.
Coi Leray.
And I don't know. I guess they're estranged or what have you. So this is what I'm talking to my cousin about this.
Well, that makes me happy then.
He says
Benzino is not a good man.
Well, he says that they're estranged, and I'm like, well, be that as it may.
Yeah.
There's too many variables in her career that lead to at least a dollop of nepotism.
If you're the daughter of Benzino, like, you have to have uncles and family friends who are in the industry, right?
I mean,
you just have to.
Honestly, even if you don't, that's enough to get a meeting.
Yeah.
If my dad, even if I'm estranged from my dad, if my dad is the owner of some company, I can at least get an interview at the bottom rung of the ladder of the company.
Sure.
And that's where she's at right now. XXL freshman cover.
She apparently started posting, according to her Wikipedia, take that for what you will, began posting music on SoundCloud. So she was apparently a SoundCloud rapper in 2018.
I just don't believe that.
I
just don't believe she's had that, like, she's been building since 2018.
Yeah.
Anyway, she had
you're right though. She only has mixtapes, EPs, and a few singles out. So
and I don't know, that to me, basically, let me just stop beating around the bush. A lot of her career, like the things that have happened in her career, have led a lot of people to believe that she's an industry plant. And if you don't know what an industry plant is, good for you, because you don't want to know this kind of terminology. Because if you do, you're washed, like we are. What?
She apparently appeared on the Ski Mask the Slump God song on the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack.
Oh.
So I have heard her apparently before.
Okay,
on that soundtrack.
That helps a little bit. But see, even that, it's like, I'm sure her voice was indistinguishable from...
Yeah, she probably had like a backing vocal of some kind.
Maybe she had a full verse. Maybe we're just women haters.
Could be. He-Man Women Haters Club.
He-Man Women Haters Club. So a lot of people have accused her of being an industry plant. And I don't know. I'm looking at the evidence of her career, and I'm wondering.
She had a full feature. Let me clarify on that song.
Full feature.
She had a full feature. Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't remember it in particular.
So when you have as short of a career as she has so far.
Yeah. So what were we talking? 4 years now?
From 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 years, right? 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yes.
Yeah. 3 years. 3 years, she hasn't put out a proper album.
Yeah.
Just a couple of mixtapes and some singles. One big feature. She's on the XXL freshman cover. She gets a set at Rolling Loud, which is a really big music festival for hip. It's a big hip-hop music festival.
Huge.
She's gone viral a couple of times. Apparently, she was dating Trippie Redd. I don't know. Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. And
only 24.
And she has 5 million followers on Instagram as of this recording. It's probably more than that by now. Mm-hmm. And it's just a lot of stuff where, like, I don't buy into the industry plant stuff all the time, but there's some things where you're like, I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it. I don't know. I'm not accusing her of anything. I'm just fascinated by her career trajectory. I'm fascinated by what people are willing to do to appear as though they are already famous. Like I know people personally who have paid for followers on Instagram, for instance, and you can see it when you look at their followers versus their engagement.
Sure. Yeah. That's a telltale sign.
Yeah. That's one of the easiest things to look at. And it's always just like, dude, you don't think other people are paying attention to this? Even laymen are looking at it and going, well, you only get 30 likes, but you have 50,000 followers. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Even if you take a fraction of those followers, let's say you had 50,000 followers and only 10,000 of them are real. Let's say 5,000 of them actually know who you are. Let's say 2,500 of them are actually friends of yours. Let's say 1,000 of those people really dig your stuff.
Yeah.
Let's say 500 of that 1,000 are super fans, and you're only getting 30 likes per picture.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't add up. And it's very clear when you do that something's wrong in that picture. And these social media outlets are obviously getting smarter and starting to crack down on that kind of thing anyway. So it won't last long term. And it's something actually I came into kind of conflict with at old jobs where these companies would be like, well, can we just buy followers just so we can look, like we have this engagement? And it's like, no, you can't. Yeah. You can't buy followers. You can't buy engagement. You can't buy virality. All those things happen organically. Yeah. And your job is basically to put your company in a position to get those things. Yeah. And then it just has to happen. It's like fishing, you have to cast out that reel, that line and sinker, if you will. I've fished plenty of times.
What about the hook, though? Are you going to cast the hook?
You do need the hook.
You might need the hook at the beginning of the whole thing.
The hook brings them back.
Hey.
So you just need to get it out there, and it has to happen on its own, essentially. You put yourself in the position for it to happen. It's like catching lightning, like you have to build a metal pole as high as you possibly can. It may never get struck, just may not happen for you, but the chances are the higher you build it, and the more the more conductive is the word I was looking for. I was going to say electric. The more conductive that pole is, the better chances you got.
Right.
That's all you can do. Because if you plug your pole into an outlet, you're paying for that electricity is all I'm saying.
I love to plug my pole in outlets.
Amen, brother.
Hey.
But it's something that has to happen naturally,
right?
Organically,
right? And
if it doesn't, then you're paying to look pretty. Essentially, it's like having a wig that disappears as soon as somebody touches it,
right?
Like it's not really worth it. Like it looks pretty on the outside, but as soon as somebody investigates a little bit further. I'm done with analogies, by the way. Don't worry. As soon as somebody looks just a little bit further, they're like, "Oh, that's all bullshit," and it makes you look worse.
Yeah,
it makes you look worse.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing that the risk that you take with paying for engagement or paying for followers is that once people find out, you look worse than if you just had a fraction of those followers. I think people are just going, well, the risk is worth the reward. High risk, high reward. So if I have 10,000 fake followers, but 5,000 or maybe even 10,000 more people follow me because they see the 10,000 and think, oh, this guy's got clout, I'm going to chase that, then it's worth losing the first 10 for the real 10 later.
It's a chicken and the egg thing, though.
Right. Because I don't think that happens as often as people believe it does.
Well, because think of it this way. If you're providing content, sure, there's a thing to like being in the right place in the right time. I mean, this podcast is something is emblematic of that. Yeah. Like, we're still trying to find this massive boom that will get like, Rogan numbers here. But, we're
coming for you, Rogan.
We're coming for you. We have a respectful following. We love everybody who's listening right now, obviously. Cheers to you. But it's one of those things that like, if you're not putting out, like you should, instead of focusing on looking good on the outset, focus on your content.
Yeah.
Because if your content's there, the audience will follow.
Right.
You just need to figure out how to get your good content in the right place so that it finds its audience. As long as your stuff's good, people are going to be attracted to it. That's the bottom line. So, we see Coi Leray, a lot of people saying her content isn't good, and therefore, like, it's suspect that she's getting all of these things.
Right.
I'm neither here nor there. I haven't listened to enough of her stuff, just like you.
Right.
But I mean, that's kind of the point. Is like, if the stuff that you're selling isn't good, it doesn't matter how many people it appears are interested in your stuff. They're not going to buy it if it's not good. If what you're selling is not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how many people are in the marketplace perusing your shop. If they walk out with nothing, doesn't matter.
Here's the thing, though. I think you and I's definition of good is drastically different than what the definition of good is for the generation
Sure.
following us or preceding us. Following us? Following us. Following us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because their definition of good, buddy, leaves a lot to be desired.
I understand, but I feel like we're savvy enough to see the appeal of something outside of our own wheelhouse.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yes.
So I don't want to discount us that much. Like, we
No.
can tell if something, if something can catch on, or if there's a spark to something, even if it's not Illmatic, but if it still has like an energy to it, or it still has there's some star power to this person, I think we can identify that.
Yeah. Well, and I think, again, the problem is we haven't given her the proper attention, the proper due.
That's true.
I'm not even gonna sit here in front. The past, I don't know, 10 XXL freshman covers, I have just gone, nope. Yeah, I have zoomed right past. So, there's probably, but the thing is, how many of those guys that have been on those covers are still popping right now?
Yeah.
There's a handful of them who I know
Not
who have
many.
been. I know Uzi Vert was on one.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure Jack Harlow was on one. I know that there is a good number of guys who are still on, who have been on those covers. But for the most part, like back in our day, back in my day. Listen, this is the washed episode. We're washed, okay?
Ain't they all?
Yeah.
Ain't they all the washed episodes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Uh-huh.
Our XXL freshman covers were filled with guys who are still doing it right now.
Yeah.
And well, for the most part, there's a couple of guys who you're like,
there are tons who aren't doing anything. But
look at that 2016
2016, yeah. Uzi Vert, Yachty, Kodak Black, Denzel Curry, Dave East, Lil Dicky,
21
Anderson
Savage.
.Paak, Designer.
That 2016 cover is insane.
Yeah.
That's such a good cover.
It's huge. 2010, J. Cole,
I think
Nipsey Hussle,
that's one of my favorite covers.
Freddie Gibbs, Big Sean, Wiz Khalifa, OJ the Juice Man,
OJ the Juice Man,
J-Rock, 2011, Meek Mill, Big Crit, Sci-Hi, Mac Miller, Lil B,
rest in peace,
Kendrick, that little guy named Kendrick. 2013, Schoolboy Q, Trinidad James, Joey Badass, Ab-Soul, Logic, Action Bronson, Kirk O'Banks.
Yo, that 2013
Travis
cover
Scott,
is crazy.
Chief Keef.
That 2013 cover is insane. That might be the best one. That's wild.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty
I had
good.
no idea. Chief Keef, Schoolboy Q, Bronson, Travis Scott. That's a crazy cover.
And like really diverse
yeah.
as far as styles. I don't know. I didn't really see much in 2019.
Yeah,
Megan Thee Stallion, YBN Cordae.
DaBaby in the cover?
Yeah.
On the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got Megan Thee Stallion, DaBaby on the 2019 cover. So,
Roddy Ricch.
You got Roddy Ricch. But, I'd like to see what Roddy Ricch does with his second album. I was mildly impressed with his first album. I thought, obviously, the singles were huge.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the big songs, but, like, the album itself, I couldn't wrap my head around the press that he was getting for the album itself.
Yeah, it seemed like too much. But who am I to say?
Anyway, all that to say, I don't know. It's kind of fucked up, the kind of attention she's getting on the internet. It's kind of mean.
The negative attention.
But at the same time, I don't know. I can tell you one thing. I can tell you one guy who is not an industry plant, and it's DaBaby.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that he is working very, very hard to get himself out of the industry.
Yeah, seems that way.
It seems like he's working overtime to take money out of his pocket and just burn it.
How do you hurt Elton John?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
You got to try hard. DaBaby has been in the headlines, and I'm sure you guys know where we're going with this. Look
at how sad Elton John
I know,
looks.
He's so sad. So sad. Yeah, I'm sure you guys know where we're going with this, but if you're uninitiated, DaBaby also had a set at Rolling Loud, which apparently was a pretty good set until he did a number of questionable things. First of which bringing out Tory Lanez, which, depending on who you ask, is either one of the more problematic rappers in the game or, you know, just a guy. I don't, like, take away all of the controversy and all of everything else that you could say about Tory Lanez. That's the guy who you pick to be, like, your special guest. I would pick a dude. I mean, there's only a handful of guys that, as a special guest, would make the crowd go nuts. I mean, Drake, Kendrick,
Sure.
you know, Schoolboy Q. He hasn't done a lot of stuff, so if you brought out Schoolboy, that would be crazy. Lil Uzi Vert would be fun. People would lose their shit. Travis Scott, Roddy Ricch, that would be fun. I mean, Lil Yachty, I think he had a set, so I don't think that would be that crazy because he already had a set. But there's a number of guys that you could bring out that the crowd would, like, go ape shit for.
Sure.
Obviously, Drake's probably the number one. Like, if he took off a mascot's head, and fucking Drake was
like
there.
if Kanye was there, you know?
Of Kanye, yeah. Tory Lanez, I don't know. To me, just not one of the guys.
Not the guy you pick.
He's not on the list of guys where I'm like,
Not in 2021.
Crowd is going to go nuts for this dude.
Yeah.
Unless you want them to go nuts in the opposite direction of, like, mildly confused, slightly angry,
Uncomfortable.
very weird vibe after.
Yeah.
And then for some reason in the middle of his set, he just decided to go on this rant. I wouldn't really call it a rant. I mean, because as a rapper, I understand what he was trying to do.
Mm-hmm. We've all seen it. If you've been to a rap show, it's a in-between songs kind of like refresher.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little show play, you know.
Little crowd work.
Crowd work, if you will. Yeah.
And yeah, so
it went off.
It started off innocently enough, and then I don't know, like his brain just went to a place where you're like, why would he go there?
Yeah.
Why would you?
It went to Xbox Live circa 2012.
He just starts talking about, like, you know, if you're gay but you're not sucking. We're far enough into the show.
Enough, yeah.
If you're not sucking dick in the parking lot, and he starts talking about people who have AIDS. Or like you know, if you,
I didn't even hear the if you're gay part. I just heard if you're here and not sucking dick in the parking lot.
No, he was talking about his gay fans.
Okay.
When he said that, hold on, let me pull.
I didn't even see that part, and I was like, wow, you're just angry at gay people, I guess. Like it's a forced foul, you know. Like, why are you openly being homophobic to people who are they're supporting you?
Yeah, it's like you just didn't have to do it.
No, absolutely, absolutely not.
You didn't have to do it.
0%.
See if I can find what he actually said. We're gonna give him his just due because he apologized and everything, and we'll go through that.
Yeah, he did. He just apologized after Elton John. Actually, that may have caused it. Because he doubled down first.
Yeah, no, yeah. He didn't double down on what he said so much as he was like, you guys took it the wrong way.
Of course, but
well, what I'm saying is, like, it's one thing to double down on. It's one thing to say, like, I'm right, you're wrong. It's another thing to be like, that's not what I meant. This is what I meant. And what he said didn't help his case. I'm not defending his doubling down. I'm just saying, I don't think he never mind.
Okay.
Because what he said was not good either. His
do you have
second apology. Well, I have some of it. Like, I'm going to address his weak ass internet shit.
No, but before that, his actual speech.
No, I'm saying his double down was not good either.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
He was like, I said, if you don't got AIDS, put a cell phone lighter up. I said, if you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone lighters up. All the lights went up, gay or straight. You want to know why? Because even my gay fans don't got fucking AIDS, stupid ass niggas. They ain't got AIDS. My gay fans, they take care of themselves. They ain't no nasty ass niggas. See that? See what I'm saying? They ain't no junkies in the street.
Even
really-
the gays. Even his gay fans.
Even his gay fans ain't got that shit. He said his crowds put their phones in the air because, quote, my gay fans, they ain't going for that. They got class. They ain't sucking no dick in no parking lot. You got to get a room, a good one, a 5-star hotel, or wait till they go to the crib.
Oh, no.
If you a fan of me, then going for some big dog shit. You ain't just going for nothing. Even my gay fans got standards.
Even the gays. Even them.
Even his gay friends have
And
gay fans.
you have to be a
standards.
junkie to have HIV, apparently.
Apparently, according to old DaBaby.
So, according to Billboard, this article has an excerpt from his actual speech
Lay it on
at
us.
Rolling Loud. He said, if you didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, or any of them deadly sexually transmitted disease that'll make you die in 2 to 3 weeks, then put your cell phone lighters up. Ladies, if your pussy smell like water, put your cell phone lighter up.
Yeah.
Fellas, if you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone lighters up.
Well, there you go. He didn't say gay people,
No,
but he said,
no.
fellas, if you ain't sucking dick. I mean, that's
Right. Which, in my opinion, makes it sound like if you are gay, if you want to suck a dick and you're a dude, there's something wrong with you.
right.
That's how I took it.
That's probably how a lot of gay men took it.
So I'm just saying it would have been a little bit softer if in his tirade he went on and said like
Tirade.
if you are a gay fan of mine and weren't sucking dick in the parking lot because you were classier than that, put your cell phone lighter up. Which, I mean, put cell phone lighter.
Yeah.
Is that just your light?
Just put the flashlight
Put your flashlight on your
phone.
phone. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not what he said, though. What he said was clearly if you would enjoy sucking dick as a man in the parking lot, but you didn't, go ahead and put your cell phone
Right.
lighter up.
But if you did suck dick in the parking lot as a man, you better get the fuck out of my show.
Right. That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. I'm sorry.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
I didn't say it.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
didn't
he said.
misconstrue what he said. That's what he said.
Right.
So then he gets, I mean, just the backlash of all backlashes.
The
on the
backlash?
internet. The backlash.
Yeah.
And then he goes on Instagram Live and he's like, whoa. You guys didn't hear what I was saying. I said gay people are terrible and I hate them. That's what I said. No, he says he doubles. He doesn't. I mean, he doubles down, but in a way, it's so confusing what he was saying and what he was trying to say.
Well, no, he was clearly trying to soften it. He was clearly trying to do damage control, but he didn't. Like
Right.
What resulted from that was just he wasn't trying to double down, but he did in a way.
He was trying to elucidate what he was saying, because during the show when you're just like, yo, you know, if you ain't sucking. If you got class, if you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot, if you having a good time, put your fucking lighters up, and everybody's like, fuck it, whatever. And then when you see that clip, when you're at home and you can digest that, you're not in the crowd, and like what's that song? Let me clear my throat, and he's like, if you got real hair, if you blah blah blah. Put your motherfucking lighters up, and everybody's into it and stuff. But if you were sitting at home and you're listening to that song, and he's like, if you got real hair, and you're like, well, that's not fair. That's not fair to say. What am I supposed to do?
I guess I'll keep my hand down.
I mean, my genetics took care of that. I
Sorry.
can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
And it's like
I won't clear my throat, I suppose.
when you're at home and you're listening to the rant, you're not there, you're not in the show, and he's like, if you ain't got AIDS, put your cell phone lighters up. We only support non-AIDS having people here.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, there is so much wrong with that I don't even have the time to.
It should be clear to you as an audience as well that what's fucked up about that, right?
Yeah. I hope that you're listening to this. And
I mean,
all
there's
of this
people
is like,
there's people born with AIDS. There's people who get it from drugs, from sex, accidentally, or
there's people who have been raped. There's
Sure.
people, but I mean, you could get it from any way. And the other thing is, it's not a death sentence.
And not only that, but the people who got it through things that they could have prevented aren't bad people.
No.
Like they shouldn't be shunned.
And if you got it Yeah, yes. If you had unprotected sex with somebody else and you got it, that doesn't make you a dirty person.
No, and chances are, if you're throwing those stones, chances are you've put yourself in that position too, and you've just gotten lucky.
Right.
So, like, I don't want to hear anything about people, casting these stones in their glass houses.
Yeah.
It's silly. It's
Big
stupid.
old glass houses.
It's absolutely redonkulous.
It's redonkulous. So he goes on Instagram Live and he tries to soften the blow of of what he was saying, and that doesn't go over well.
And then Elton John comes in to save the day. after Boosie.
Well, yeah, because this was after Boosie and Ti.
Because
right. T.I. jumped
I saw
in.
T.I. did too, yeah.
And T.I. was like, well, I mean, if Lil Nas X can be gay, then DaBaby can be homophobic.
A homophobe. It's the same thing.
It's
yin
literally
and
the
yang,
same
baby.
Thing. I mean, there has to be. And then he hashtagged it with equality. He said equality. He's like, if that guy can live his truth, then this guy can hate that other guy's truth and want him to be dead for it. Why not? Equality.
I'm starting to think this T.I. guy is not a very good person.
I mean, I don't know. The guy has some shitty opinions about sexuality, homosexuals, his daughter's sex life.
Yeah, his daughter.
He just has like a lot of shitty opinions. Let's just say that. And Boosie is another one with a lot of shitty opinions on health, sexual health.
Yeah.
Homosexuals.
Yep. A lot of outdated views.
On both of those.
Well, and it's funny because it sounded like what DaBaby was saying was like right out of like an early 90s playbook. Like that was pop culture kind of standard for AIDS at the time.
Yeah.
If you weren't in the culture of, LGBTQ or I mean, even black people at the time, it was seen as like that's the people who have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you got it, it's because you're dirty or because you're gay.
Yeah. If you were a man who got it, you were obviously on the down low.
Right.
You were fucking some
or you're a
dude.
junkie, and we should have no. We shouldn't care about your life.
Yeah.
You threw it away.
Yeah.
You deserved it.
You chose this.
You
life.
earned it.
Yeah.
Whatever, and forget it.
Yeah.
That like it sounds so reminiscent of that time back then.
Well, and what's crazy is he's young. As far as I know, look it up. I'm pretty sure he's 30 on the dot.
He's DaBaby.
He's so young. I mean, he's an infant. How can he have these opinions?
29. He's 29.
29 years old.
So he was born 91. So I mean, he has really like he wouldn't have much of a memory of even like the early 90s where that was so prevalent.
But the environment that he grew up in.
Sure.
I can only imagine the environment that he grew up in, because the environment that we grew up in, that was a very acceptable opinion to have on gay people and the choices that they made in their lives.
Yeah. It was a gay disease.
Yeah.
It was the gay plague.
Yeah. And I mean, we're not, it's not like we're like a decade older than him. We're right in the same generation.
Right? Yeah.
So,
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I again, not to defend anything that he's saying, I understand. I can see the perspective that he has and why he has it. I guess I can.
Yeah. We've been graced by knowing gay people, having relationships with them, being educated in HIV/AIDS, and having our minds opened and having this way more like, I guess, I don't know. I guess just a less of a conservative view of this entire conundrum in a way, like I don't know how better to describe it, but we just have a wider view of this entire thing that allows us to not be prejudiced in this way that maybe we would have been if we didn't have our minds changed from that original perspective.
Yeah, I just it sucks that you need to a lot of people from our generation need to know a gay person, need to be educated on those things. I mean, education obviously is invaluable. So if you have somebody who can tell you exactly why you're wrong, that obviously helps. But it's like the same thing as when a guy says, I never understood what it meant for a woman to live her life in the society until I had daughters.
Sure.
And I sexualized women until I had daughters. Mm-hmm. Now I'm super protective of women, and it's like, but why did you need to go through that?
As a human being, you should have a level of empathy for people.
Yeah.
Right? You should be able to form that level of empathy, whether or not you have to personally deal with those same issues.
Yeah. But I mean, if the pandemic showed us nothing, it showed us that, at least in America,
people don't care.
Empathy is
out the window,
sorely lacking in our society.
Isn't that sad? Like,
it's the saddest thing ever.
It's something we can't even avoid. Like, it's constantly thrown in our. I mean, I don't know where you guys are right now, but especially in Florida, like, we are being slammed by COVID right now.
We're going back to masks.
Back to masks, baby.
Yeah, that's coming back very soon.
So, I mean, like, just having it thrown in our faces in that way. I mean, literally thrown in our faces in that way.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, man. Like, what do we got to do?
Care about the next man?
How do we get people to do that is my question. Because I care. I wear masks when I need to, or when I feel like I should. I got vaccinated. I'm down for a third vaccination. Give me a booster shot right now. I'm
Boost me
ready.
up, baby. Let's
Boost
go.
me, please. I need 6G.
You know what? I'm actually, maybe I should do the research on this off camera, but there's no J&J booster. What am I supposed to do?
Go fuck yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, it seems like I'm kind of fucked.
Yeah. Well, they'll make one, I'm sure, eventually.
I hope.
Yeah. I mean, the only one I've seen so far is about Pfizer, right?
Yeah.
And I got Pfizer, baby. Yeah, Pfizer gang.
Pfizer gang.
Brat.
So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear why
I got a little excited, I'm sorry.
he would feel the way that he feels about things. And you know, okay, so he goes on this rant. Then you get T.I. defending him. Then you get Lil Boosie jumping on, and he's just like, hey, man, if Lil Nas X can be gay, then DaBaby can be hateful of gays. I don't understand.
Not only that, but, like, yeah, he goes on this entire, I would call what Boosie did a tirade.
That's definitely a tirade.
Because he was saying, essentially, his platform on this entire thing is that, okay, Lil Nas X is like one side of the coin. Not everybody's going to agree with being gay.
Yeah.
So why are we accepting Lil Nas X and not DaBaby when DaBaby is just another opinion, right?
Right.
Now, obviously, that's flawed logic because the opinion of DaBaby, based off of what he said, I don't know him personally, so I don't know where his heart is, but based off what he said, it's clearly that he's homophobic, he doesn't like gay people, whatever.
Yeah.
His words, show
based
that.
off of what he has said
Sure.
most recently.
Again, I don't know the man. I can't say exactly how he feels, but that's what it came off as, and that's what people are taking it as.
Yeah.
So he's making that a yin and yang thing, like we were talking about with T.I., fallacy and logic, but he's taking it a step further and saying that Lil Nas X, first of all, based off of a joke tweet that he put out saying that he wants to perform live naked for charity. He said that as a joke. Most people would realize that he was joking when he said that, but Boosie took it personally for some reason, got very angry, very angry. And said and added this element to it, saying, "Okay, it's for a charity, therefore it's for a children's charity. Yeah. Therefore, he wants to perform naked in front of children.
Well, not children, children's,
children, if you will,
children's.
So he took it personally based off of those things that he kind of put together in his head.
Yeah,
and then it became a personal vendetta against straight people that Lil Nas X was saying these things, and he was calling Lil Nas X disrespectful.
Yeah.
For suggesting that he would perform naked in front of a crowd, let alone in front of children cheering.
Germans.
And it seemed like he took that really personally.
Yeah.
And it like you could tell he was actually very angry.
Yeah, he was
about
upset. He was not happy about any of this transpiring.
Right.
He was not happy about it.
Yeah, including homophobic slurs and threatening Lil Nas X and
I mean
it was a lot.
I mean tensions were high. I just don't understand why he was so angry about it.
Yeah,
I just still I watched the clip and I'm just like I don't get where these emotions. Well, hate is where these emotions are coming from.
Sure,
hate.
Sure.
It I don't know. You would think that we were at a point where, first of all, you can understand when a guy is joking. But Boosie, if anybody's washed, it's Lil Boosie.
Yeah.
If we're washed, then that motherfucker is super washed.
Yeah.
So maybe he should just stay off the internet completely because he obviously can't understand a joke.
He's 38.
Too old.
Yeah.
Too old to be on Instagram Live talking about Lil Nas X.
He doesn't understand memes.
No, he doesn't. And here's the thing. Even if Lil Nas X was talking about doing a charity where he was naked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Let people pay to watch that shit.
Well, no, he took that as, I don't know how he got to this point, but I think he implicitly put together charity and children.
Yeah.
Like it's a kid, like it has to, like charity needs to be about children when it doesn't.
That seems to be Lil Boosie's very limited purview of what
a charity
is.
is. Yeah. Right.
That so it has to be geared towards children. And it seems to be his limited purview of Lil Nas X's career.
Sure.
Which is that he's still the guy who made the rodeo song, which is what I've seen a lot of people say. Not Old Town Road, but the rodeo song.
You know what? That is a really good point that I didn't think about. I think maybe that's why he's thinking about it too, is that he sees Lil Nas X as this like kids performer.
Yes.
So that's why kids would show up to see that kind of thing. I didn't put those two things together.
Yeah, no, that's
for you know what, for that, Boosie, I'm sorry. I didn't put those things together.
Boosie, sorry about that.
I apologize.
You're still a hateful piece of shit. But
I apologize for that one thing that I didn't put those two together. But yeah, I mean what you're saying is obviously disgusting.
Yeah, and that's to me that's pretty obviously where that line of thinking came from. Is that he has only heard Old Town Road and still only views Lil Nas X as basically a rapper for children.
I guess you know what did it for me was like the fact that there's been literally a year of him promoting things that are not for children that pushed that thought out of my head completely.
Right.
The entire Montero run and beyond has been so adult oriented.
Yeah, because I mean Boosie is super washed.
Sure.
So the only thing that he
knows Old Town Road. That's it.
He just knows that because it was super viral. It was huge, and that's how we all were introduced to Lil Nas X.
Sure.
And for a great number of people, that's the only thing that they know about him. Yeah. So when they get angry at him for doing anything that's not Old Town Road, they go, whoa. This is not the kid that we were introduced to. It's
so funny how much the streams cross between hip-hop culture and country culture.
Yeah.
Because the both of them are very angry at Lil Nas X right now for the same reasons. They're both weirdly conservative.
Yes, there is a very, very conservative sect of hip hop culture, of old school black people. There's a very conservative
and Latinos,
black and brown people in general.
Yeah,
there's a generation behind us that is very conservative, even though they try to pretend like they're not. And they talk about they'll say things like, "Oh, you know, Bebo, your cousin, she's gay."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know. I know. I mean, I still love her.
What happened though?
I mean,
what happened?
What happened? And it's like, hey, man, that's not the inclusive stance that you think it is.
No,
you know.
No. I still love her. She's going to hell, but you know.
I mean, it's terrible that's happened to her.
What are you gonna do?
But. You know, we still love her.
Yeah,
we're still gonna invite her to the reunion.
They say it like she got cancer,
right? Oh my God! Can you imagine being? Can you imagine being gay? spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. And so there's that, like you said, that intersection between those two cultures.
Yeah.
That is like, if nothing else, you can meet in the middle of, old school morals.
Sure. Morals.
Right.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I think people don't realize that hip hop is so new as a culture relative to other genres of music.
I mean, basically every other genre of music. There are very few genres that are newer than hip hop.
Right. So, it's not going to be. It's still going to be the forefathers of hip hop and black culture, as it pertains to hip hop, are still going to be in that same generation, and that generation is going to be very limited in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people who are around our age who are breaking free of that.
Sure, Brockhampton.
Right. Brockhampton's a really
Tyler.
good example. You see Tyler.
Yeah.
You see Frank.
Sure. Yeah.
You see Danny Brown to a lesser extent. I mean, he still talks about crazy shit, but like his willingness to just be perceived in any way is a really good thing. And it's going to take a long time. It's going to take longer than people are comfortable with for hip hop to catch up to where hip hop's fans are, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a lot of forefathers who still, they don't run the culture, but their line of thinking is seeped into who is still at the front of these things.
Yeah.
And until you start getting more and more people like the Nas's and the Jay-Z's to kind of go, guys, we need to move forward. It's like it's fun to see, Gangsta Gibbs support Tyler, for instance.
Sure. And I mean, I feel like I've seen it subtly being introduced as far as inclusivity and a lack of anti-gay rhetoric in general in gangster rap and rap in general. You see it with even like Griselda recently. If you listen for it, you're not hearing like gay F words anymore. Yeah. Right?
No.
Generally.
You still hear them from time to time, but for the most part.
Yeah, but for the most part, I feel like it's a kind of a silent agreement that's off limits now.
A long time ago, I took that out of my lyrics.
Yeah.
I mean, they were. I mean, early stuff. It was definitely there because it was just
pervasive.
Yeah. I mean, it was something that to me. I mean, I think we've talked about this on the show, but like, I didn't think twice about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I obviously it wasn't a word to be offensive to gay, like intentionally to be offensive to gay.
It wasn't
people.
Rooted in specifically hate for gay people.
Well, and I think that is part of the problem. Is most people still view it as that. I'm not saying you're gay. I'm not saying it's a problem that you're gay.
Right.
I'm just saying you're acting like an F word. Like, what do you like? Stop acting like an F word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that is where a lot of people still go. You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not saying that being gay is bad. I'm saying you're acting like a gay person, which is bad. So I think that there's still that disconnect.
Sure.
That a lot of people still kind of hang their hat on. Like, I'm not a hateful person. I'm saying you're acting like this kind of person, and we don't like that.
Well, I mean, the instant way to kind of I know it's kind of apples and oranges, but the easy way to kind of put that in perspective is like the N-word, obviously.
Yeah.
If a white person were to say the N-word and go, I don't mean about black people, I just mean the original intent of the word.
Yeah.
A stupid person or whatever,
Yeah, no,
an ignorant person.
Yeah.
That's not what I only mean that. I don't mean specifically black people. I mean, this person's acting like this. It's like, no, obviously that word is rooted in this other meaning.
Yeah.
Whatever your intention is, doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It's now become this, whether
Yeah.
you like it to or not.
Well,
Pick a different word.
And there's so many people who want to say like, words don't matter, bro. It's the intent behind
Sure.
the words, and it's like,
I don't see color.
yeah, exactly, same argument. Like, oh, okay, we're just
White people with braids. Am I right?
oh, white people with braids. Oh man,
Sorry, white people with braids. If you're cool, you're cool.
I'm not sorry. Take the braids out. Take the braids out.
Okay.
I don't want to see white people with dreads.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to see white people with braids. Take them out.
Okay.
Take them out. That's
All
my
right.
stance, and I'm sticking to it. I'll never not stick to it. Take them out.
I respect it.
Wear the hair that you were supposed to wear. This is it. This is what God said my hair was gonna be. I'm not putting fucking dreads in it.
God gave me a bandana. So
and
an
look,
American bandana.
Look how good you look with it.
Thank you.
Look at that. Oh, okay. I mean, you guys can go look it up and feel how you want to feel about it. It's just, I don't know. It's DaBaby is doing a lot when he could be doing so much less and being able to get away from this.
Well, look, let's cap it off with his official apology. So
that's a good idea.
He said, as of Tuesday evening, anybody who done ever been affected by AIDS, HIV, y'all got the right to be upset. What I said was insensitive, even though I have no intentions on offending anybody. So my apologies. But the LGBT community, I ain't tripping on y'all. Do you? Y'all business is y'all business.
I don't know what that last part means. I read that last part, and I think I need to hear him say that, because that last part sounds like he's going, look, I'm done with this. You gays, I'm done with this
Do what you want
conversation.
to do.
I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but that last part didn't sound right.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
That's his official stance on this, is that he didn't mean to offend anybody. And here's the thing. I think that the hard truth is, and this is the last thing that I'll say on this, we can move on.
Okay.
I think the hard truth is a lot of us want to assume that the people that we support and like have the same views as we do.
Mm-hmm.
And we ignore the fact that they probably don't. And when you see something like this, you're okay with that apology because you want to be okay with that apology.
Sure.
When I see that, that's not a mea culpa. That's a
Mea culpa.
culpa. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I fucked up, but only because like I'm in this situation.
Yeah, it's and I don't understand what I did wrong, but I'm sorry if you're offended.
Right. That is not an apology that says I've educated myself on
No.
the reason that I'm wrong.
Absolutely not. No.
And so when I see that, I don't give him a pass for that.
No,
that's not an
absolutely not.
apology that to me reads, I know that I made a mistake and I'm taking the necessary steps to rectify these wrongs, and I apologize to the people that I hurt.
Sure.
That says I don't want my wallet to be thinned out the way it's being thinned out right now.
Yeah. And look, honestly, neither of us are in the position to say whether or not that apology was acceptable or not, because we're not the culture offended by that.
Absolutely.
However, I mean, looking from the outside, looking in, it's not acceptable. That's not a good apology.
No.
Sorry. I mean, you know, if you're a gay person and you find that to be acceptable and you're a DaBaby fan still, more power to you. I'm not mad at you. But I don't know, to me, that is quintessential half-assed.
Yeah. I mean, and yeah, we could spend the rest of the month dissecting the African American culture, the black and brown culture, the Latino culture, and how it intersects with homosexuality.
Sure.
That could be an entire podcast.
It's very complex. Yes.
Like it's where there's no way for us to really delve into it on just, half an hour.
And it's people tune in here because it's a good time, right?
That's what I keep telling myself.
So, it's not necessarily the venue I feel people are looking for from two guys who are a little buzzed off of this, tall boy of stout.
A little bit.
To get deeply into. So we'll save you from that.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I feel like our stances here are valid.
I think so.
Let us know if you disagree, though.
Yeah.
Add to the comments. Give us your perspectives. We want to hear from you. Let us know what you think about DaBaby, if you are still a fan.
But by the way, Stream Industry Baby by Lil Nas X.
Industry Baby, yes.
Baby.
Such a good beat.
Hey, man, he's been crushing it.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want. I mean, don't say whatever you want, but say whatever you want.
Well, in the privacy of your own home, you can say whatever.
You can do whatever. Yeah, it's up to you.
Ain't that America?
But he's been, we've talked about it off mic. His internet savvy.
He crushes it on Twitter.
He's so good.
He crushes it on Twitter.
So good.
He is so concise and biting with every single tweet he puts out.
Yeah.
It is perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Anyone who tries to come at him the wrong way, just immediate righteous damnation.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I love it. I love his presence on Twitter more than I love his music.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
It seems like he's fully aware of literally anytime his name is spoken and he's right there ready to go well, I've got a response for that. And it's a clever response and you weren't ready to defend yourself after I responded to you.
Yep.
He's so good.
Yep.
So good. And his most recent singles have all been good.
Mm-hmm.
And, I started to mention this off mic, and I'm going to mention it right now. I called this. I called it. You
had to let the people know.
You go back and watch my review of his EP when he, all the way back. Go on my Instagram. It's on there. I called this. I said that he was more than a one-hit wonder. I said his songwriting skills were a lot stronger than people were giving him credit for, and that if he can continue on this path, he's going to have a long career. I fucking said that shit.
You did.
I did.
You did.
So I just want people to know that I've been on the Lil Nas X boat train.
Yeah. Okay.
Shut up.
Car.
Vehicle.
Plane.
Dick. What?
Ah!
For since the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
I've been a fan. So I'm happy to say that I was right, and I'm happy to say that he's been killing it so far. So good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say on that matter.
Thank you. Thank you for saying
I like
that.
to say when I'm right.
Yeah. Yeah. You sure do, bud. Thank you.
I just like being right.
Uh-huh.
It's fun.
Yeah.
You ever been in an argument where you know you're right and the other person knows you're right?
Oh, yeah.
And we both have to just look at each other like that gif of Diddy and that weird dude where he's just got this stupid smile on his face. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
To know you were right.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Do we have anything else?
I think that's it. I don't know. Unless you have something in your back pocket.
I got nothing in my pockets.
Okay.
So
that's good. Keeps you
think-
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Streamlined.
Fast, loose, ready to rock.
Yeah. No, I think we're good. I think we hit two of the major issues of the week.
Yeah.
But if you guys have anything you want to talk about next week, put it in the comments. And let us know, because we will add it to our list of ongoing topics.
Right.
Topics.
Right. Well, in the meantime,
Yeah.
we should get out of here. But before we get out of here, we have to review this beer. So,
I wish I had a little bit more.
Adam Obesius, tell me what you think of the Copper Kettle Brewing Company's Dark Samba Imperial Milk Stout.
It was good. For me, a little too much.
Yeah?
A little too much flavor. I know that sounds crazy.
Too much flavor, yeah.
I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. It hit me in a way that I just wasn't ready for. Like it really
wasn't
like
ready for.
Honestly, earlier on, like it was a little unsettling to me.
Really?
It was too strong. It was just like over the top with a creaminess and like a dark. I think it's the bourbon flavor maybe that kind of threw me off. there was just too much. It tasted concentrated almost. Like I wanted it to be cut up a little bit. But after a few sips of it, I acclimated, and it started to go down a bit smoother. And I started to get a bit more of the individual notes that it was going for. I enjoyed it a bit more as it went on. That being said, not my favorite, again, because it just, I don't know, it felt like a sledgehammer at first of flavor. Which, if that's what you're looking for, great. Maybe I'm just not in the right space for this right now. I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Wow. I think this is one of the first moments where we're just like drastically on different sides of this.
I'm here for it. That's what the show's about.
I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Okay.
I thought it was really, I think, you know what's funny? I agree with everything you said, but in a positive way.
Okay.
I think that there was a big burst of flavor at the beginning that may be a little shock to your palate.
Yeah.
But the more you drink it, the more you kind of acclimate to it, and you're like, this is I fucks with this. The bourbon barrels, I think that bourbon flavor kind of comes through on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
It's an imperial stout, so you're getting that, and it's a milk stout, so you're getting that strong kind of sugary flavor in the beginning. It is sweet. It's 8%, so it's not too high, especially for an imperial stout. You would think that it would be a little bit higher 10, in ABV.
11. Yeah.
And I think that helps it because you're not worrying about that alcohol-y flavor that usually comes through on higher ABVs, especially stouts. They can be sweeter, but then you get that high ABV
kick.
Yeah. And you're like, this is alcohol and sugar.
I did get a bit of that kick with the bourbon flavor though.
But I think I liked that about it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that about it. So, yeah. I liked it. Would I get it? So here's the thing. Right there on the can, you can see 2 servings that this can holds. Mm-hmm. So would I buy this can by itself and just enjoy this? No, that's too much. That is too much. Would I get it again with somebody who enjoys stouts? Absolutely. Shout out to CJ. I'm coming for you, motherfucker.
Wow. You don't have to threaten him.
We're going to have a fucking stout together.
All right.
So, there you go.
Okay.
A 4.5 for myself and a 3.5 for you, sir. You think we got it?
I know we got it.
Well, if you say we got it, then that means it's over. This has been the One Beer In podcast. For myself, Marco Dupa. For Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Obesius.
Thank you guys for listening. Drink delicious beer and have a beautiful day.
We love you.